We are live now, we can start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the third day of 21 days mindfulness session, Mindfulness the Journey to Greatness, by Institute Wellness Group and Reiki Center of Excellence for the Science of Happiness, IIT Kharagpur. Now, let us invite our teacher, Saamdu Chetri, sir, to start the session.
Thank you, Soumya. Thank you, Zansi. Thank you, organizers. Hi, friends out there. I don't know how many of you are out there. My greetings of love and compassion to you all. So today we will take a journey of a different intent. Every day we would do it very differently so that I can part with the little knowledge that I carry with myself. So let me share the screen. What happened? All right, do you see the screen? Hello?
Yes, sir, the screen is visible.
Okay, great, wonderful. So friends, today we would take another journey on the third day. Today is 12th of August, 2020. As I promised you, I will remind you every day of certain things that you need to practice every day. So here it is the reminder. We need to discipline ourselves every day. With discipline, we are going to achieve what we want to achieve. Discipline is everything in life. Please put this in your mind, in your thought. Without this, disciplining ourselves, we will be nowhere in life. So, did you do a gratitude for the universe that you have 24 hours in the morning? Did you thank your parents, your friends, others? Did you send them love? Did you reflect yesterday? Did you reflect what you're going to do today? And did you put your intention for the day? Did you meditate for 6 minutes on the bed? A reminder, if you didn't do it today, please do it tomorrow. Once you're out of the bed, I said you need to begin with your self-affirmation. You need to do your exercise, bath, but mindfully. And I told you how to do it mindfully. Then you have to sit with your family for prayer or meditation, do a tea mindfulness, breakfast mindfulness eating, start your normal 8 hours of work, then make sure that you learn to listen deeply and have positive words in your mouth all the time when you speak at home. And then you spend at least 30 minutes of your time in reading inspirational books or listening to some very uplifting music. This is very important. Just 30 minutes a day would change your perspective as well. Mindful eating of the dinner, sharing before you go to bed, before you begin your noble silence. Noble silence is when you do not talk to anybody and also to your own mind. So switch off your phone or keep them very far away from you and get onto the bed and do your body scanning. Body scanning, if you are doing rightly, it is not only helping you understand your body, get into sleep, but it's also helping you to understand, to rejuvenate, to talk to your cells. Cells get, totally, you can produce a lot of immunity in your body, just talking to the body. This is scientifically also proven. Very recent research has indicated this, how we fall prey to stress. When we have stress, how our cells react and how we kind of block everything and become sick. So when you touch your body, that means you're aware with your body parts, and your body parts begin to react to what you want them to get well, to get relaxed, to get happy, and so forth. All right. So today's intention is, like I said, when you have an intention, then you're going to have attention to it. So today's intention is I will live on values, okay, on values. So we're going to talk a bit on values. You see, this house of love, house of happiness, house of joy, house of trust, house of everything. My own thinking, this is the rich way of life, which you can say is enlightenment at the end of the day. Happiness for me here translates more towards enlightenment, not below that. Rich is a word. If you see on the 4 pillars, the first words, R-I-C-H, they combine into rich. So the rich way of life is enlightenment or happiness, or at least above your trust, above your validation, which is done through your wisdom, which is basically the reasoning power that you carry. Once you are at that power of reasoning all the time, before you act, before you speak a word, before you do anything, if you can reason, then you are at a very high level of the frequency of our existence. We'll talk about it a little later, a little more. But let me just come to this house of happiness. Love is the basic, is the foundation to this beautiful building block of enlightenment. So for me, love is to live on values every day. I feel that's an abbreviation for me. So when you learn to create love, now love is something unconditional. If you think, do I love my mother? It's difficult to answer. You'll say yes immediately. Do I love my parents? Yes. Do I love my friends? Yes. But try and see, how do you do that? It becomes difficult because it's unconditional. This is not kind of measurable kind of thing, but you can arise this love. When you arise this love, you look at the person with complete harmony and peace in yourself. It's a totally, you can send love, it's visible in your eyes, all right? So love is something that you need to create. You can send your love just sitting here. You can just imagine someone, your mother, right in your mind here. And then you can send your love. You can caress her. You can hold her. You can talk to her through your mind. This is possible. When you have raised your frequency of life very high, this is highly, highly, highly possible. Okay? So, love should be the foundation. Now, what are the pillars on love that we need to kind of build? So the first one is relationship. Relationship has been talked, a lot of research has been done on it, and it's still ongoing. Still science is so very in infancy still. Whatever science we talk about. So if you look into the Harvard study of 75 years study, they found out that they started actually with high school students in Boston, and they happened to be all boys, or 612 boys or so. Every year they started to follow these boys with a set of questionnaires. And then after 30 years, their wives joined them because they realized that their husbands were filling forms every year. So they found out and they also joined the group. And of course, most of them have died. Maybe there are 1 or 2 left. And if they are in the range of 97, 98 or 100 years. If they're still alive, otherwise everyone is dead from this survey. What they found out after 75 years of their study was that if you had to pick one indicator on happiness all through the progression of life, from childhood until the very old age, there was one thing, and that is relationship. Deep and meaningful relationship. That can only happen when you give time to yourself, to your family, your friends. And when you give time, we're talking about giving love to them. You see, like I was just mentioning this to the organizers a little time ago, that the last wish of a passing away person, and it's a huge amount of research done, lot of books written on it. When you ask a dying man or a woman, what would you want to do if you had got life back, some years more? Or what would be your wish now? Then they would say, well, I wish I had a little more time so that I could enjoy my life, so that I could have more time with my family, so that I could work less and look after myself well. You see, these are few things that we're talking about relationship with yourself, with others, and with the nature. They also would like to go out and be in the nature, jump into the sea, all these things. How do you create relationship is very important, and it is one of the pillars, one of the 4 pillars of love. So relationship, I just mentioned so little about it, but relationship is in different forms. First is self with self. Okay? You need to be related with yourself. Why do we suffer every time with stress, distress?
Sir, you are not audible, I guess. Hello.
Yes, sir, you're not audible. Sir?
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. I think there is a glitch, sir. Your audio is not connected now. Could you please check?
Hello?
So you are not audible. Can you try to speak again?
Hello, sir, now it's audible.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
You
sir,
are audible.
Okay. All right. So I was talking about relationship, connecting self with self. And to connect self with self is to be mindful. And yesterday we learned about how are we connected with the 5 elements of nature. If I am that nature, you are that nature, then how are we different? And I was telling you the story something like 39,000 years ago. There was a huge volcano eruption in Indonesia that covered, the ash covered almost the entire planet. And the people that are counted that lived during that time is about 1,200 people. And we are the children of these 1,200 people. Therefore, therefore, the 99% of all our DNA matches. So we are same in many ways. Nature, the organisms in nature is so very connected with us because when you are depressed, you go out to waters, to a riverside, to a forest, you'll immediately realize that there's a calming effect simply because those organisms are in you too. So look at the relationship. So we need to know ourselves, know others, and the nature. We need to be connected in the relationship. What is integrity? The second alphabet of rich. R is relationship, I is integrity. So what does integrity stand for? This is what we say we must do. And what we do, we must say. We must be brave enough to speak out. This is integrity. When you manage your life with a discipline, noting down and following every pattern, every calendar that you've written down, then you are in integrity. If you live one day, you're not integrated. You think in the morning, oh, I have a routine to do this every day. And come Saturday morning or Sunday morning, say, chutti hai, let me lie down back. Then you're not integrated. You don't have the integrity. So try to live through this concept. There's also in the working world, when there's a beautiful term which we use, rather a verb, an adage. We say, when the cat is away, mice are everywhere. That's when you don't have integrity. But when you have integrity, it doesn't matter who is with you or not with you, you will follow your routine very precisely. All right? So that is integrity. Compassion, I believe, is a little higher than empathy. Empathy is like, you may know that when someone is suffering, you also begin to suffer because you see the sufferance, you bring the sufferance in your mind, and then you begin to suffer. All right? This is empathy. But if you're empathic, it's great, but you will not be able to help people out of empathy. You will only feel the pain, and you can be a soft-hearted person, but not necessarily a helpful person. But if you are compassionate, you understand the person, you step into the shoe of the person, you feel for him or her, and you take a step forward to help in a most possible manner and way. So we need to be compassionate towards others, all living beings, including, starting with yourself. If you're not compassionate, we cannot be compassionate for others. So you start with yourself all the time. Humanity is another term, which is to care and share. Today we're missing. We do a lot of studies on emotions. We do a lot of studies on different aspects of psychology. We do a lot of studies on science, exploring the Mars. When millions of people are hungry here, we're spending billions to go to Mars. Is it justified? We need to be human. I think now we need to learn is humanity, which is to share and care for one another. This is what we need to learn. Otherwise, this is the new science we need to learn so that we have a better world tomorrow. So humanity is a powerful way. I mean, just to give you one quick example, 2015, when I spoke to the British Parliament, I think 2016, when I spoke at the, or 15, I'm not sure, at the British Parliament, when I flew from Delhi airport to Heathrow, the first general announcement that came on board was, if you donate £1, you're going to feed a hungry and cold child in England. I couldn't believe, I thought I heard wrong. So I fished the message out of the seat pocket of the plane, and then read the same thing. Then I thought, what happened? England, that actually ruled over the world, whose empire was so huge that the sun never set. They took so much of wealth from all the nations around the world, especially India, and today they are begging. That was the first thought that struck me. Then I realized, when I was speaking at the parliament, I realized that they have become less of people who care and share with others. They don't care. They care for their children, they say, who I know will never take the legacy of the parents, because the world is changing. They will change. They will not want what the parents have left behind them. So parents struggle so long to leave something for their children, but at the end, children don't take that. So we need to be much more sharing and caring now and here, because we will all pass away one day. So humanity is very important. I can give you a lot of examples on all this, but let's continue our journey. If we have love as our foundation, as a base, and these 4 pillars on the love, then definitely we have a true relationship with a great amount, a depth of amount of true understanding, service, which is to serve others, to care for others, and good thoughts, which takes us to wisdom. So that brings us to joy and to peace. And you can imagine after peace is the big happiness, which I again tell you, happiness for me is enlightenment. Once you are happy, you are enlightened. So let's try to get to this journey of enlightenment, all right? A quick thing on happiness. There's no definition, universal definition on happiness. Happiness has never been defined, actually. Cannot be defined because it's so vast. In India, you talk about Ananda, Satchit Ananda is a consciousness totally embedding the concept of peace, tranquility, joy, number of things. So it's, to me, it's really the conscious process towards enlightenment. Buddha, during Buddha's time, even Buddha never spoke about happiness, not even once. What he spoke about was suffering. So there was one suffering person, which happened to a lady who came to him, very depressed, and said, Buddha, I want happiness. And Buddha said, looked at her with compassion and love and said, I is a ego, drop it. Want is a desire, which is excessive, drop it. And then the lady understood that happiness is within and went back. Mahatma Gandhi said, what you think, what you say, and what you do, if they are in synchronicity, in harmony, you are in happiness. Dalai Lama said, happiness is not a ready-made thing. It only comes from your own action. It's not ready-made. Aristotle said, it depends on yourself. How you act, how you move, how you do. It totally depends on you, on your values, on your actions, on your activities, on everything that you. He talks really on the mindfulness, the journey that when your mind and your action and your thoughts are together, then you are in a journey of happiness, which is mindfulness. Tao means a path, a way. So Taoism basically means, again, mindfulness. When you are taking the path of rightness, without harming others, without harming yourself, then you are in the path of righteousness. Confucius said that a person who wants to be happy or who needs to be happy must constantly change. So he thought that every moment, because nothing is fixed on this planet, everything changes moment to moment. Even there are billions of cells that die in our body and we get rejuvenated. So everything is changing. We're changing moment to moment. So he said, we also need to change with these moments, which means that, again, mindfulness. You need to be mindful to follow the path journey of being. Now, why do we need to be happy? Or why do we need to be mindful? Here are some of the findings from research. You become more creative, and you have higher concentration. You increase your memory. You have always positive emotions. You live longer. A 30 years research proves that you live longer because your telomere, the tip of the telomere, actually gets extended, elongated, and then you age slower and also you live longer. You can cure yourself. There are stories about how tumor a lady cured just by, placebo effect. So it's through the mind she cured herself. Your heart functions well. You'll have no blood pressure. Your heart will be normal, functioning well. You also increase your willpower. So why not then do mindfulness? Why not then be happy through the journey of mindfulness? I think we have all the elements why we should not do it. Okay, so let's get into our mindfulness meditation. But before that, let me just tell you, because there was a question, what I was talking on the frequency from the quantum physics. This is what I was talking about. It's also on the TED Talk. You can just, I got it from the TED Talk. You can all see at the bottom of our frequency, vibration is same. Then comes guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride, courage, neutrality, willingness, acceptance. Look, from willingness upwards, we fall into the better zone of our frequency. Then if we get into acceptance, then we learn to, reasoning, then love arises, joy, peaceful, then we get into enlightenment. So above, when you're in total peace, you are vibrating at 600 hertz. All right. So this is true, because there was a question yesterday: if someone has a bad feeling, can it come to us? This is how it happens. Because when someone is in a very negative mood and we confront and we attach this with the person, then we also become negative. That's how it is effective. They cannot throw some mantras or some magic to make you fall sick or feel bad, but you become bad because of their negative power, because that vibration frequency, you also pick it up. Okay? So you should not pick it up, which means you should not try and connect with the negative frequency person. All right. So let's begin our journey on mindfulness. Please find your space. Sit in a meditative posture, of course. I'll call the bell. As you listen to the bell, sit comfortably with eyes drooped or closed, your back straight, chin slightly tucked in, without stress on your neck, legs grounded, tongue lightly touching the upper palate, teeth not biting, shoulders completely relaxed, and watch your breath. Feel the energy entering from the center of your palms if you have them open upwards. Let us take deep breaths in, hold it for 2-3 seconds, and slowly breathe out in 4 to 5 seconds. Let us do it for 3 times, and it's from the nose. Please begin. 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 2-3 seconds, and slowly breathe out. Hold it for 3 seconds again, and slowly breathe in again. Deeply breathe in. Hold it for 2-3 seconds, and breathe out slowly. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Slowly release it. Please feel calm and relaxed, and take your awareness to your feet. Feel the sole. Wriggle your toes. Feel the ankles, calf muscles, thighs, and ask them, including your 2 legs, entire legs, to soften and relax. Thank them for carrying you to the places of need and love since you started to walk on them. Straighten your back, both lower and upper, and relax your shoulders. Feel the hands on your lap and ask them to soften and relax. And thank them for enabling you to carry, touch, feel, give, receive embrace, right, and so on. Move your awareness to your neck, slightly move it gently to find the right position for it and relax your neck. Move your tongue in the mouth and slide your lower jaw left to right and feel relaxed. Take your thoughts and focus to your head and see if the mind is judging or distracted. Pause, recognize what it is doing, and realize by asking the mind to be still, clear, and peaceful. Now take your awareness to your heart and see what the heart is doing. Pause, recognize if there are any agitation or negative feelings that is holding at this point. Be aware and realize it. And just let it go and relax. Arise love, joy and peace that has no boundary, expectation, but it is pure, humble, inclusive, and profound. Please bring your awareness now to your body, mind, and speech. Make them as one and imagine your loved ones and send your heart along, wishing them acceptance, truth, love, joy, and peace. Tell them, may you be awakened from forgetfulness and transcend the path of worry, anxiety, and sorrow, or unwholesome memories. Now imagine you are standing in the door to the enlightenment with a bright, bright light welcoming you because you have crossed the steps of reason, love, joy, and peace. It has been a long journey from a lower vibration, crossing to a higher vibration, to the power of self-actualization. You are watching the existence in its absolute truth. People, animals, plants, aquatic life, and lives in the sky and on the earth. You now begin to send your universal loving kindness to them and yourself. May there be abundance of insight, love, joy, peace for you, others, and me. May my teachers who taught me to be who I am today be joyful, in peace, and be enlightened. May my mother, who gave birth and unconditional love and cared for me, be joyful, in peace, and be enlightened. May my Father, who cared, supported, loved, provided security and safety for me, be joyful, in peace, and be enlightened. May all the suffering sentient beings, including microorganisms, on this planet be safe, joyful, and in peace. May all living beings on and in the ground, air, and waters be safe, joyful, and in peace. May all my pent-up feelings vanish, and my heart become soothing, loving, and remain in peace always. May our attachments to greed, anger, hatred, jealousy, and pride transcend immediately. May righteousness win over the evil and unjust to bring love, joy, and peace on the earth. May there be goodness in every corner of our planet Earth. May reason, love, joy, and peace arise in the hearts of every person on the earth and the sky. May there be eternal joy and peace on this planet for all living beings. Please bring back your awareness to your body. Take deep and slow breaths. Open your eyes halfway, hold it there. Massage your hands, your legs, rub your hands, your legs, massage your legs. And open your eyes, filled with love and compassion. All right, friends, that was our mindfulness meditation. Let me just go to our last part, which is the song. So here is a wish again from me to you. May you be happy and well. May you always be free from fear and danger. May you bring peace to the lives you touch. May you bring unconditional love to others and be loved and cared for. May you all be successful and take the journey to greatness. So let's sing this song. 3, 2, 1. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. And I'm not in a hurry. Happiness is here and now. I have dropped my worries. Somewhere to go, something to do. But I'm not in a hurry. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to me, for coming to learn together with me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So today we don't have many questions from our viewers. So we can take up a question from yesterday, I guess.
Okay.
So, yes, sir. So first let us begin by a question from my side, actually, sir. So
Okay.
today we discussed in length about relationships and love. So, but how do we deal with a disagreement with somebody who we love a lot? Like many conversations with my friends have shown disagreements with their parents now that they are staying with them. The expectations, the generation gap that we talk about. So how does one deal with that?
I would, this is a beautiful question, and I would like to really say this, that often because we feel we are educated, we feel we know everything, we feel that we are modern. I have realized that, this is a fact. I've seen in my own school, mother came to see her son in the school with some goodies from home. A village lady, poorly dressed, she came to see her son with a lot of things. And when we asked him, my friend, who is she? He said, she's a servant in our house. Is that the love for a mother? We feel very shy to even introduce our parents just because we think we are modern. My dear friends out there, remember, if you didn't have the mother and the father, you would not be today here where you are. So first thing is we need to be filled with gratitude and love for them. What they are saying is their perspective. They're seeing from their eyes, not from your eyes. You are seeing them from your eyes, your perception, your way of thinking. Don't do that. It's a very simple thing. You are in the modern, be modern, no problem with that. Be who you are with the present environment and the setup, no problem with that. But when you're with the parents, try to understand from their perspective, and you will go deeper in understanding them, in realizing them, in appreciating them, because there is something behind what they're telling, either through their living experience of plus you for 60, 70 years, or at least 50 plus years, or maybe 40 years, they have seen this world. So what they talk is from their perspective, not from your perspective. You have your perspective. If you try to tell your perspective and they don't understand, don't get irritated because they have limitations. They have not seen the world like you. They have not read science and engineering like you, right? So you need to leave. Like I gave you on the first day, second day, I think, the perception of a carpenter, a farmer, and a woodcutter for the same tree. So this is our perception. What we need to do here is learn to have deep listening, the power to listen. When you have the power to listen, then you have the power to understand what they are trying to come up with, why they are saying those things. And if you know that they're not going to understand what you're going to tell them, don't worry. You don't have to convince them. Understand them, appreciate them. That's good enough for them to understand you. All right? So, deep listening and loving kind, loving speech. Use positive words. Don't get angry, don't get jittery with your parents, with your family. You cannot change the world, but you change yourself, the way you see things, you'll change everybody. You see, if you now try to listen deeply, you are going to embody parents into you. So you will start to see them like yourself. So the world out there is because we do not try to see from our inner self, we see the world different. And we feel that we cannot control the world. People don't understand me. My father doesn't understand me. He wants me to do this. I want to do that. There must be a deep reason. If you listen carefully, you'll understand. Then you will be able to Tell the story from your side. But if your father said, "Nahi, tumko aisa karna hai," and then you suddenly jump up saying, "Nahi, mere ko ye nahi karna hai, kyunki mere ko main nahi chahta," father will not understand. You will not understand why the father is referring that. So I think it's a question of changing your perception. When you change your perception, you'll begin to see everything within you. Like the first day I asked this question, Sadhguru says, "I'm a mystic." He says, "Where do you see me?" And people point finger where he's sitting, there. And he says, "No, you see me in your eyes. I'm in your eyes. I'm not there." You see, that's the perception. That's the perspective we need to develop to understand our relationship. So there is nothing called generation gap. Generation gap is from the pride that we take. We know better than our parents. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I would like to append the question a bit. So, suppose actually the equation of an individual, like this time is a phase of change from a child of the parents who was completely dependent on the parents. My co-age people, they are becoming adults, so they will be going into lives where they will be self-dependent. So that transition has, due to the pandemic now, has interfered with, their past lives. The dependence. So that is, I think, creating a friction for some people. So how can they manage, that friction? So I think that acceptance you told about is a good thing. Can you add to it?
Thank you. Yes, definitely. You need to accept. You need to, now this is an opportunity to get all the love from your parents, Become a child again. Accept the fact. Accept the fact this has happened. You cannot change it. Just by accepting, your mind opens up to do something greater in life. You can become much more creative. These so many months we've been in lockdown, and we might still have a few more months. If your parents are affording, you have a farm, go and work in the farm, my dear friends. Wash pots and pans. Do things that you have not done in your life and see the magic in it. You will transform your own inner core to something more beautiful, more achievable, more reliable, more acceptable by everyone. So we cannot change. When you know we cannot change anything, the first important thing is to accept. Once you have the acceptance, then the next step begins out of this. So we have to be very careful of not falling victims to kya kare abhi, everything is locked down. I can't earn money for my parents. I can't do this. I can't do that. But I'm sure that you have enough to eat at least 2 meals a day, if not 3 meals a day. That's good enough. Do less exercise if you're too much involved in exercise. You just manage your body in a way that you will be alive and try to do something good. And this good can come from your mindfulness journey. Meditate as much as you can and see the power of meditation. You can become very creative. There are many things you can do as an engineer sitting at home. You can do a lot of things. I don't know, many of you might be in the cities. You can just open your ears and information around and see how you can be helpful to those people out there. Go out to serve, to care for others. And serving can be physically and through your mind too. There are many ways. So unless we accept a situation, we will never be able to let it go. And when we are not able to let it go, then it will keep on haunting us like a nightmare. And it will keep on bothering us and we will suffer. And stress has been proven. And through this, you get stress. When you are stressed, then of course, COVID will be very easy to catch you. Because we know that 40% of the people without the COVID are still having germs, virus of COVID in them. That's a research. I mean, a lot of viruses, a lot of bacteria are in us, but we have the power to fight. We have the power to create immunity, to boost our immune system because we are not stressful. and our cells are functioning all the time to produce antibodies. But if you get into stress because of this, non-acceptance, not letting go to find a new path, then the sufferance can be very dangerous. It can clock you. Not only virus can come you can have a lot of other diseases that will be embedding into you. So please, friends, please, my request to all of you, try to go out of this thought, accept it, let it go, find a new journey for the next few months, enrich yourself, make yourself a true human being. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So also one of the questions I would like to add some insight on it. The question by Snehalata. So she asks how do we deal with differences in thoughts with people we know for just 1.5 years, particularly when we know that they are my responsibility and we have to be with them for a lifetime. So I think what can be added is we have an opportunity to form new relationships, but sometimes some relationships are compulsory for us. We do not have a choice to not do it, go with it. So when there is a difference in thought, in that case, how do we deal with that? Like,
Yeah, when the thoughts are different, of course, we can never get together. And the thoughts are different because they are always different. We are all different people. What you think, what I perceive, what they perceive are completely different. It's a question of understanding, a question of reasoning, which is one of the highest vibrations, actually just below joy, peace, and then it's enlightenment. So this is very high. So if we know how to reason, then it becomes easy for us. What is that difference thought in the process? Parents, if you are a girl, parents might say, "Oh, sadi kar lo." You may not want that. Then there will be argument and fight on that. But if you listen carefully, why are the parents saying that? If you can question very mindfully with proper words that you use, they're going to explain it to you. Then you can give your vision, your wisdom to them, saying, "Ma, you see," and then give reasons why you don't need to marry now or never in life. You can reason, you can give. Why parents do that is because of the social pressure, because they will feel like, I know of a friend of mine own who is not married in Indore. Parents were pushing and they thought, society thought, oh, she is maybe not capable as a woman to get married. But it was her intention not to get married. She wanted to do something else in life. So when you're able to explain to your parents, parents will understand and begin to support you. So the difference of thoughts will always be there. If the thought is the same, both thoughts are the same, then there's no need to think, isn't it? When thoughts are different, that's where we begin to create the relationship. That's where we try to find new avenues, new ways to bring up our new relationship. So if your thoughts do not match the thoughts of the parents, it's all right. It's perfectly fine. And it is lovely. It is right to have that way. Otherwise, if everybody lived with your thoughts, it will be totally monotonous. Imagine about prisoners in a prison. They go by every word of a prisoner guide. What life are they living then? Because their thoughts never excise. So don't live in this prison. It's good to have people who think differently, because you're going to enrich yourself much higher, much better. So it's a question again, coming back to, you need to learn to accept, number one. Deep listening, try to understand what are they trying to tell you. If you don't listen, if you start to argue in your mind what they're saying, when they speak one word, you would complete the sentence. Then of course you have questions and your anger and everything will arise because you're not listening. Try to step into their shoes and listen. What are they trying to tell you? You will suddenly realize something different. And then you can, after that, bring your thoughts. You see, when two thoughts are different, then you can bring your thoughts, and then you can not argue, but you can discuss two thoughts to come to a third, a higher, a better thought all the time. So it's an opportunity too. Don't get irritated, don't get frustrated, give time. If there are two thoughts happening at the same time, give time. If you don't have time, just say, Ma, Bap, whatever, please, shall we discuss this issue again? I would be happy to sit and discuss it out. And please do not act with pride that you know more than them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your answer was very insightful. So I would like to club two questions, one by Ranjan and one by Jaideep. So Ranjan asks, how do we deal with failed relationships or breakups? And Jaideep asks, how to balance new and old relationships. So basically, how do we move on from relationships that, due to some reason, we couldn't avoid their souring, that didn't turn out well?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of things I realize in India, because I meet a lot of young people, I used to meet when they were here, and this was one of the questions that often came to me. Many came to visit me even in my house, mainly boys, with this issue of breaking relationship, that they are down, they feel very bad, and all that, I think, again, the most important thing here is to accept. You may have gone into wrong. You need to forgive yourself. If the other person has gone wrong, you need to forgive that person, because forgiveness becomes the top priority. If you can't forgive, you will live with it. You will suffer all your life. So first important thing is to learn to accept. Breakup has happened. It has happened, a reality. You have to bring that in your mind. It's a reality. The next thing is, then you begin to say, all right, it has happened. Can I bring it back? Are there avenues to bring it back? If the answer is no, let it go. Why do you struggle? Why do you fix your mind onto this? Remember one thing, it is true. It's not a belief or some kind of faith, but it is true. With your pure intentions, with your right efforts, when you're doing something, and if that something does not happen, mind you, the universe has something bigger and better for you. All right? So don't take it in your heart that, oh, I had a beautiful relationship, I loved her or I loved him, now we are broken down, I'm totally destroyed, I have lost my life. No, nothing like this, my dear friends, nothing like this. Nothing has been lost. So try to see, accept and see, can I make it back? Did I make a mistake? Can I overcome this? Can I say sorry and get back? Can I make up? If the answer is no, let it go. Let it go. Because then the universe has something else in plan for you, mind you. And look forward to that, and it will come to you. Very simple and very powerful and very true.
Thank you, sir. So I think we have come to an end for the questions with relations. Now, there was one question by Priyanka asking about what is abundance and how to feel that.
How to?
Feel abundance, sir. Abundance.
Well, Soumya has actually gone through a process with me. Abundance, when you need to define what does abundance mean to you, because people live in the form of scarcity. They think that this is scarce. If I don't hold it, it'll never be enough for me. Mahatma Gandhi said, there is enough for everyone's need, but not one person's greed. Canada, 7 years ago, tried to own water in Canada. A journey of life. See? You try to own the air, you're destroying everything. of abundance, and we're getting into scarcity of everything. What is abundance for you? You define yourself. For me, abundance is love, joy, happiness, right reasoning, acceptance, the beauty of the nature, the flying birds, the sun, heat from the sun, the food that I eat, the nourishment I get, the clothes I wear. Each cell in my body, 37.2 trillion cells in abundance. Water for me, air for me. These are abundance. Everything is in abundance. There's nothing restricted to not abundance. Now, if you restrict yourself in earnings, money, even money is in abundance. It's only how we handle it, what are our perceptions towards it. The moment we change our perceptions for it, it'll become valueless. Money is valueless, actually. You cannot eat it. It's only a mechanism, promissory note to exchange things. But the real life, the reality is in abundance. We are in abundance. Everything is in abundance. It's only how are we nurturing and perceiving it. The moment we change this, we'll find ourselves in abundance all the time. All the time. Whether it's happiness, good health, whether it is air, fresh air, pureness of the nature, the glitter of the sun, the rain, everything is in abundance. So you need to define yourself what abundance means to you. Maybe you are restricting the definition of abundance through the concept of scarcity. And this scarcity will come when you feel greedy, when you're highly attached with high amount of desires, you carry a pride with you or an ego with you, and you get angry often, or you are jealous. These 5 elements, 6 elements of negativity actually restricts us to look into the abundance and brings us to a stressing level of looking things with scarcity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So there was one more question. I think it had been addressed yesterday as well. Can you quickly go over it, sir? How to concentrate over something that people are finding it hard to concentrate toward nowadays over any work that they are doing.
Yeah.
Can you just go over it for once?
Yes. So, like I said, it is totally 100% a behavior, a practice. You need to inculcate habits. Concentration can't just immediately, there's no medicine for it. Unless you drug yourself, there's no medicine for it. The only medicine for a long time to be always in concentration is to do mindful practice. So when you are living in a particular action, like I told you the example of taking bath, when you take your mind on the freshness of the flowing water, the slipperiness of the soap, your hands moving on your body, then your mind is with it. You're mindful, you're meditating. Mindfulness, all journey of mindfulness is meditation. When you're capable of doing this, if you are cycling, your mind is only in cycle. If you're eating, you're nourishing yourself with all the elements that has brought you to this table, this food. You are in mindfulness. When you're speaking and choosing every word to speak, you are in mindfulness. Mindfulness is when you are in it, in anything you do. Okay, this will help you develop your concentration. The other way is to sit quietly and focus. Focus on your breath. Breathing in, feel how the breath enters in. Breathe out, see how the air exits you, exhales. Breathe in, see the stomach, feel the stomach rise, lungs filled. Breathe out, see how the air is going, moving. Your mind will go away, they will wander. Mind will float away. Quickly remind, oh mind, please come back. because I'm listening, I'm focusing. My object is now the breath in and out. Continue doing that. Continue doing that. This is one big way. And if you can do this for a limited time, I can promise you that you will start to develop your concentration. The other is you can use your visualization to meditate, Find beautiful space and put energy-filled words in the visualization. Like we're doing many visualizations and we'll continue doing many of it. When you visualize, your mind is focused. And you need to do as often as possible. When you're able to do that, then you're able to begin developing your concentration. All right. Scanning the body is also concentration. So when you go into the bed, when you start to scan your body part by part, go up, you're focusing. And when you start with your toe, then you come to the sole, your ankles, and then suddenly your mind floats away. Then go back again. Remind the mind that you are focusing on your body and you want to focus on your body. And keep saying, my eyes are getting heavier, my eyes are getting heavier. And by the time you are somewhere around halfway, you'll fall asleep. This is also developing concentration. In the morning, I've told you what to do. Pull up yourself, rest your back on the wall or whatever on the bed, and then say thank you to the universe that you have 24 hours in front of you. And then bring your resolve of the day. See what you did yesterday, what you're going to do today. And then pull up yourself and do 6 minutes of breathing in and breathing out. Just focusing in your breath. All right? This is a practice. And whenever you have time, just sitting here also, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 9 minutes, 12 minutes, 18 minutes, 21 minutes, whatever time you have, just listen to your breathing in and breathing out. If you can do this for 21 minutes without stop, you can become another Einstein. All right? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I think that will be a very positive note to end on. We thank our viewers who have joined us today, and we hope to see you every day for the next 21 days. And thank you, sir, for your insightful messages. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Love you all. Take care.